Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. So, very powerful underlying belief, very broad, very wide. I'm opposed to this moment. I don't like this moment. This moment isn't good enough. This situation isn't good enough. In a way, isn't that what we're saying when we have an objection to anything? It's not good enough. I need it more peaceful. I need it better than it is. Somebody in an eating peace inquiry group today was doing the work on that empty space, being alone at night, being nourished from having a good dinner and a good day with food, and noticing the experience of an empty space, that empty time, which is so funny how many of us wish we could have unscheduled time. I wish I could have unscheduled time. And then here comes the unscheduled time, and the mind says, it's boring. It's not entertaining enough. It's dull. Just watching, it can be that mild kind of criticism of the moment, alone with oneself, all the way to experiences that we had that felt very traumatic, very difficult, painful. In the situation, that situation, as it's underway, the idea that that moment is definitely not good enough. There's so many better moments. So many better moments. Don't like this one. I'm able to even compare a better moment to this worst moment. Even as a child, I can do that. So just finding a moment that maybe, to make this very useful for you, that you just encounter in your day-to-day life. And you say, I don't like this moment. I don't like it. It's too boring. It's too intense. It's too full of feelings. It's too difficult. It's too stressful. I don't like it. Let's do the work. Is it true? Of course it's true. What are you talking about? God, there's so many other better moments. Not this one. Of course it's true. Can you absolutely know? Can you absolutely know that it's true? This moment, the one you have in mind, isn't good enough. It's not good enough. Can you absolutely know it? No, because I notice there's moments like this in reality. These kind of moments happen. Discouraging moments, disappointing moments, frightening moments, pain, agony, lonely, bored. Not good enough. Not good enough. Can I absolutely know it's true? No. They appear. I also notice that they fade. They fade and come and go, it seems. And you might have a yes there, and that's okay. What happens when you think it? What happens when you think it? This isn't good enough. My mind just goes to how many times I've heard from other people. They think they aren't good enough. Very quickly, when you think this that I'm perceiving, what I'm in the presence of is not good enough, the present moment isn't good enough, oh, I'm not good enough. My thinking isn't good enough. I should pull it together. I shouldn't be bothered by this. There is a place, it's not here, where not being bothered could happen. Imagined place, not here. This moment isn't good enough. And of course, how do you treat life? How do you treat the moment? How do you treat those people? Sometimes the plunge into despair in this experience, like, I'm lonely, not good enough. I'm unloved. Love is not here in this moment. Entertainment and fun is not here in this moment. Sometimes the plunge to despair, how do you treat life in general? Like, as I contemplate life, I think it's so hard, it's ridiculous, it's too difficult. It's just one suffering event after another. But notice the suffering in that, even if there have been many things that have been difficult to experience and contemplate. You know, things that bring you to your knees over and over again. Many of us have had that. The longer you live, maybe. Here we go. Down on the knees again. Suffering is different than actually experiencing something that's difficult. Just noticing this isn't good enough, this isn't good enough, and the cry of that, the fear. And this amazing question 4, who would you be without the thought? And important to notice with the thought often is when anything to sedate sedate yourself, sedate the moment, sedate your emotions is what will come in as, an attempt, medicine attempt. So eating, spending, drinking, smoking, obsessing, texting the guy, texting the girl, hunting, deciding to move, analyzing. All these things come in as compulsions to help with that moment that isn't good enough. How to make it better. How to sweeten it up a little bit. Sweeten up that moment. Or take a deep breath in that moment. So who would you be without that story? This moment isn't good enough. And just allow yourself to see a time of day, an experience that you have in your day-to-day life, something that you might have pictured, anything in there that occurs to you that you just noticed watching that experience, and it's now a memory. Who would you be without the thought, this is not good enough? Not good enough. What if you weren't able to think that? What if you could set that down a moment? Not believing the thought. And just look around. And as this lovely inquirer was doing, just looking around at the evening, at the room she was in, at the space being occupied, filled with things. In the space that I'm in right now, there's a lamp, there's another lamp, there's books, there's 2 couches, there's a white carpet, there's a view out the window, there's birds flying around. I mean, it's infinite. There's so much stuff everywhere. It's all fascinating. What I see with my eyes, what I hear with my ears, even what I feel within, changing, moving, pulsing, alive, without the belief, this isn't good enough. Exciting. It is good enough. This moment that I was at odds with, I thought wasn't good enough, is good enough. How could that be true? Even if it's a very difficult situation that many people would agree with you is a hard thing to go through. How is it that it is good enough? This is a deep, amazing find. Still alive, still looking, open. It is good enough. Not the ruler of the universe deciding what is or is not good enough. Okay for it to be happening as it is. Things unfolding. Didn't invent any of this that I've encountered. And just noticing. And it is good enough. It's good enough to teach me. It's good enough to bring me to my knees and offer awareness. Sometimes in the immense suffering that we've had, have come out of that most incredible awareness of the force of life, the, the learning that's possible in life, the perfect thing that we need to address, where we're bumped up against something, where we've got a wound, a judgment, a block. And this thing happens and it reminds us. You might want to take a look. You might want to inquire. So it is good enough. It's just perfect for my own learning adventure here on planet Earth at this particular life, in this particular time. My thinking isn't good enough about the moment. My thinking just kind of runs and does what it does and repeats the same things, same old, this is boring. My thinking isn't good enough, not for me. And it's okay, it's just doing what thought does. It's not good enough to change situations. As long as I question and have an open mind, then it seems like suffering can dissolve. So, however it is that's not good enough, whatever qualities you find yourself repeating, whether it's boring or frightening or nerve-wracking, irritating. My thoughts are nerve-wracking, boring, frightening, and irritating and boring. My thoughts are about life. Not me. Something aware here that can be very interested, excited, and just being in the aliveness of the moment. Things moving ahead. Whatever has happened in the past is over. I love that Byron Katie says that. It is over. It is over. Because it is. Is it not? The only place that's left is in your own mind. So wonderful. This moment is good enough. Exciting moment to question. And you can find that if any moment is good enough, compulsive urgency is not required. Far less interesting. Far less interesting. It may not eventually even occur to you to want to go get something to eat, or to go take a drink, or to go smoke something. So, enjoy yourselves. Lots of love, everybody.